This is Cheyenne Valentine, back today again with a new episode. Today's episode, I want to talk about the future Ciara and Russell Wilson situation. And excuse me, I'm a little bit tired, so yeah, I won't be talking as fast today. so, anywho, this is something I have wanted to talk about for a while now. And so let's get to it. Why is Future so mad? I don't know. He mentioned something about him and Ciara going to court. I think he said that if Russell shows up, I think he said Russell better not show up. I'm not quite sure what that means because I'm pretty sure Russell can beat the shit out of, excuse my language, beat the hell out of Future. I mean, this man is in top shape. He's very muscular and fit. I'm pretty sure Future smokes weed all day and drinks lean, and he probably gets winded during sex. So I don't know who's behind he plans on beating, but it won't be Russell's. Okay, but anywho, he's very upset now. Considering Future's supposed to be a playboy, I don't know what he's mad about. So I've came to the conclusion that he's mad that Ciara, out of all of his baby mamas, Ciara is known. She was known before he was known, and I'm about 100. I'm gonna say I'm about 85% sure that all his baby mothers he can go back and have sex with. So at any moment, if he decides, okay, I want to talk to this one or that one, whichever baby mother it is, I'm pretty sure he can get back with her and she will be happy. He can't do that with Ciara. Ciara has moved on to a better guy. And so he's very upset about this. He even stated, and she did too in an interview, and he admitted that she offered to have him meet Russell, and Future declined to meet him. And so Future claimed he declined to meet Russell because he didn't like the way they started out their relationship. He said that she should have introduced him to Russell as soon as they started dating, and that he should have been he felt that he should have been introduced to Russell before Russell was introduced to his child. My thing is, does he put the same standards on his other baby mamas when they date? Because I'm pretty sure the other ones that he's not with date other men. Do these men have to meet him first or before they meet the child? I mean, it just seems like he has a certain standards for Ciara. And so he said about the, let me rephrase this. He said when Ciara did decide to let him meet Russell, that he didn't want to do it at that point because he felt Russell wasn't a man and she should have introduced him to him a long time ago. And she admitted that she tried to introduce Russell to Future, and Future didn't want to do it. So Future basically, I mean, he's weird that he wants to hold her to such a high standard that he doesn't even hold himself to. I mean, he has all these kids by these different women, and he doesn't have much integrity, but yet he expects her to do everything by the book. I mean, maybe she didn't go about it right the first time, but wasn't you cheating on her the whole time? I mean, you're not an upstanding person either. And then she did offer to have you meet him, and then you were being a spoiled little brat, and you were angry, and you didn't want to meet him. Okay? So let's get to it. A lot of men have a problem with Ciara because they feel, why should she got to have a baby by a thug and then get saved by this good guy? Look, so I don't think she feels her son is a mistake, because he's not a mistake, but I do feel like that Ciara regrets having it with Future. Or I definitely feel like she feels like, man, I wish I would have met Russell sooner. We could have gotten both at the time, didn't have kids, could have got married, then had 2 kids with each other, or however many kids they want. I do think she regrets having her son with Future, but I do not think she regrets having her son. I just think she regrets who she had her son with. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's embarrassing for her. I'm pretty sure she wished that he wasn't the father, that because he's not going anywhere. I know she probably wished she doesn't have to deal with him, that now she's saying she knew that he was a whore. I mean, he had kids before her by different women, but I think she might thought she was special. I don't know what he tells these women, but I think she thought she was special because of what he was saying to her. And women make this mistake of thinking because a guy impregnates them, or that he's willing to have unprotected sex, that he actually wants a baby. See, a lot of these men are delusional. They expect to have sex with a woman who's not on birth control, not use a condom with her, and ejaculate inside of her, and then when she gets pregnant they get upset. It's strange. So she definitely regrets it. So for all the men saying, well, she got saved and all that, in a sense, I'm not say she got saved, but yeah, she ended up with a great guy, and that's not the situation for a lot of women. They don't end up with a guy that great. I don't think they do. And in that sense, she lucked up. But her punishment, and I don't say the word punishment. It's not punishment. There's always a consequence for an action. So her consequence for having a child with Future, having a kid with a guy she wasn't married to, having a kid with a guy who had kids before she got with him, so those were signs that he was possibly trash. Her consequence for doing that and having a kid with him before they were married and having a kid by somebody who still had multiple kids with other women is that she's found her a great guy, but Future's not going anywhere. He's going to always be in her life. She's going to always have to deal with him, go to court, know that her child's father is sleeping with all these women and making more and more kids, reiterating that she wasn't special. So she's going to deal with that for the rest of her life. So there is a consequence for her action. And I think some men feel like, oh, well, every woman thinks that she can go get a thug, have a baby with him. Let me explain something to you. First of all, like I said in another video, when a woman picks a guy, she doesn't necessarily know that he's trash. As far as a lot of I know, like I said, I know a guy that has 12 kids, but he only has one kid that lives with him. So each woman that he meets doesn't know he has all these kids. So first of all, the men don't tell the women, oh, by the way, I have 5 kids, or by the way, I have 8 kids. They do not tell the woman that. Okay, so a lot of times she doesn't know. So let's clear that up. Okay, and I think men feel like women purposely pick dope boys and thugs, get pregnant by them, and know they're gonna leave them, and then say, okay, I got pregnant by a loser, let me go find a good guy. No. Let me explain something to you. When a woman picks a guy and she has a child by that guy, she wants them to be a family. Her intentions is for him to stick around, for them to be a family. Sometimes it doesn't work out like that, so then she's left alone to raise a kid by herself. She did not intentionally say, let me pick the worstest guy I can find, a thug, a dope boy, drug dealer, a rapper, and then pick him and get pregnant knowing he's gonna leave me, and then be back on the market by myself, raising a kid by myself, and now let me go find a good guy. No. They wanted to be with that guy they got pregnant with. They wanted him to marry them. They wanted to be a family with him. He chose not to do that. So they're not intentionally picking a guy they know is bad, purposely getting pregnant, and then going and trying to find a good guy. They thought they could make it work with him. They liked him for whatever reason, and they got pregnant by him. Okay. Let's move on to Future. I don't know what his problem is. It's like, okay, she's moved on. I feel he's mad that he can't keep having sex with Ciara. He's mad that vagina does not belong to him anymore. I think he's territorial. He's not an alpha male to me. He's a person who has a hard time controlling his sex drive. I think he's a degenerate. He has a problem with Russell, and let me get to Russell. I have nothing bad to say about Russell. Only thing I will say, I know Russell has an issue. He comes off too perfect, so I know that there has to be something wrong with him. So physically he looks pretty perfect to me. Personality wise, he comes off perfect. His morals seem to be intact. Nobody's perfect though, but no one's perfect though, but overall morally he seems intact. I think he's a Christian, just like Ciara. So I feel with him, probably has some things internally, emotionally he deals with. Maybe he has control issues. Maybe he's insecure about things. I don't know. But everything else seems to be pretty much intact. And it's for you men that want to know, what's a black woman's type? I haven't heard one black woman say anything bad about Russell Wilson. So he is a black woman's type. He's the ultimate example of a great guy, and that's the kind of man that black women want, just in case you wanted to know. And if we could multiply the Russell Wilsons and get rid of the Futures, I don't like Future. I don't know why women like him. I want him to be eliminated. I want the Russell Wilsons to be multiplied. So let's try to uplift the men like Russell Wilson. But it ain't, I mean, let's be honest, there are a lot of black men that act like Russell Wilson who are very ambitious. I'm not expecting every black guy to be a millionaire, so I'm not, okay, I understand he's a millionaire, but I'm not putting that standard on the average guy. But I'm saying still you can be ambitious and fit, have some type of belief system or moral base, spirituality. He's well spoken. I don't think he has any tattoos. I don't know if he drinks or not. I doubt he probably does it. If he does, maybe occasionally. So he is, to me, he's a total package. he didn't mind getting married. He was married first to his high school sweetheart, which was a white woman. I think allegedly she cheated on him with one of his teammates. So yeah, they always say white women are so great, white, right? So okay, so yeah, she cheated on him with one of his teammates allegedly, and so he gets with Ciara. So everyone's upset. I think people should be happy that Ciara found her a great guy, but they feel like, oh, he could have got better and all that. Okay, she's beautiful. She's fit. She seems very feminine, so I understand she came to a relationship with a child, but how many, see, I don't have a kid, so most men I meet have kids, at least one. So if a person has a kid with a person and it didn't work, are they supposed to basically be single the rest of their life, or be quote unquote punished for that for the rest of their life? I feel like, look, we all make choices. Sometimes we regret those choices, sometimes we don't, but for the choices that we made that we felt, maybe I did this at the wrong time, or it wasn't with the right person, so they supposed to quote unquote suffer the rest of their life. They don't deserve to have a good mate because they had a kid with someone that it didn't work with, or they had a kid with somebody who ended up being trash. They're supposed to suffer. I could see if they just keep doing it, keep picking the same kind of people, having a bunch of kids by the same type of people. But if they did it once and they say, okay, this was the wrong person to do this with, and I see why, and I know what to look for now. Sometimes you have to do things and experience it to know what not to do. Sometimes a person can't tell you, and sometimes they tell you they don't listen. Sometimes maybe Ciara had signs. She had signs, but people probably was telling her, oh, don't bother with him, and she probably did it anyway. Okay, but her consequences, this man ain't going nowhere. He's gonna always be a thorn in her side for the rest of her life. And Russell, people might say it's not fair to him. I'm not gonna say that. I mean, he's already gotten his heart broken by that white girl he dated, so he's dealt with heartbreaking. So I think he's more understanding to people's situations. I think he's very family oriented, and in this world, you're gonna have people who don't have kids and end up dating people with kids. Like I said, I don't have any kids currently, and every dude I pretty much have dated had a kid. Okay, so it's like you can't. A lot of things you're not going to get around. It'd be great to meet other men who don't have kids, but I mean, you kind of got to be realistic. Most people by the age of 34, the age I am, has at least one kid. So I don't expect them not to. If I was single and I met a guy who didn't, that'd be shocking if he didn't, if he was over 34. I'm like, oh wow, you don't? Okay, I'd be shocked. But most people do have a kid by the age of 34. So I'm just trying to figure out why Future got such an attitude with Russell and Ciara. Like, what is his issue? Why is he so angry? Why? Because she's moving on to a better guy. She's leveled up. Are you upset? You didn't want her. That you proposed to her, but you didn't go through with the wedding. You was cheating, and now this guy. And first of all, you should be glad. I mean, he did say he's glad that Russell was around his son, teaching him football, because Russell's a good football player. But Future sounds very bitter and upset. And back to, a person having to suffer for the rest of their life because they made a choice with the wrong person. So they want Ciara to not ever they feel she shouldn't been able to have a great guy because she had a kid with a dude who was trash. I mean, she thought in her mind it was going to work out. She thought wrong, but she thought it was. I mean, didn't Future make a song about her? He seemed to have been really into her. He proposed to her. I think at the time that was the first woman he had proposed to, because he just proposed to another baby mother not too long ago. But I think he was serious about her, as serious as Future could get. So Future type of serious is basically cheating on you constantly, but proposing and knock you up with a baby, and probably not actually taking it, or if he does go along with the marriage and actually have a wedding, it probably would be something at City Hall, and he'll be cheating the whole time. So that's as far as commitment he can give a woman. I don't think she knew that. I think he said sweet things in her ears and made her think it was something great, and I think he really was into her. He did propose, but he wasn't ready to let go all the groupies and stuff like that. So she found her a better guy, and I'm glad she met Russell. Russell to me is the epitome of a great black guy. Like, I just wish it was more of them. Like, can we multiply the Russell Wilsons? Can we make about 1 billion of them? Like, so it can go around for everybody. Like, I mean, he just, like I said, I know something gotta be wrong with him, maybe internally, emotionally, because nobody's perfect, but I'm saying his personality, his morals, his body, his mindset, he's so disciplined and family oriented. I seen a video of him and Ciara at an event, and her father was there, and and he was so nice to her father. I remember he put his hands on her father's shoulders and was talking about the father, and he seems just, oh my God, he comes off so perfect. That's why I know he's not perfect, but God, I mean, he got it going on. Like, I think very highly of Russell Wilson, as you can see. And so I just wish they could just multiply those black guys. The ones that's like Future, I want them eliminated. The Futures, the Thugs, the Doughboys, the Hood Rats, all of them, I want them removed out of the black community. I can't stand them. I wish they didn't exist. We need to multiply the Russell Wilsons and make about 1 billion of them. Okay, because I'm you know, the Futures, I can't stand Future. I do not like him. He thinks he's all they think he's a playboy, but yet he's still mad about Ciara. And I think he, like I said, threatened Russell, saying he better not come to court, and saying if when they was together, she couldn't even mention her ex's name, and he does what she tells. He said that Russell does what Ciara tells him to do. How do you know that, dude? Maybe he just lets her make her decisions on her own, and he doesn't interfere a lot. You don't know what goes on behind closed doors with them. You just think he thinks that he's a pushover based upon what I don't know. Oh, because he married her and he's been a great stepfather to your son, it makes him a pushover because he seems to honor his wife and love her and respect her, and he seems to be faithful to her. Also, that's being, let me guess the word he's going to use, simp. So when a guy treats his woman well, and he accepts that she had a kid come to the relationship, and he treats her like a queen, he's a simp. But yet me, I don't have any kids. You know how many men I have ran into that have kids? I don't think I even know a guy that's 34 that doesn't have a kid. I'm talking about black men who doesn't have a kid. I'm pretty sure they're out there just like me, but it's not that many of them. It don't seem like it. So, and I've heard a black guy who had a kid, said that he did not want to date a woman who had a kid. He had a kid, but he did not want to date a woman who had a kid. Yeah, he wanted her to date him, and he's bringing a child in a relationship by another woman, but he wanted her to come to a relationship without a kid. See the damn double standard? But then you have a woman come into a relationship with a guy who doesn't have a kid. All these men are upset. See, they feel they're the only one that can come to a relationship with quote unquote baggage. If you as a woman come into a relationship with quote unquote baggage, you know that's not good enough for him. He can do better. But yet they're always looking for, no, I don't know if you all noticed this, but a lot of men with kids do not want to date a woman with a kid. I've noticed this. I've noticed this firsthand. I heard a dude on YouTube say out his own mouth. He has one kid, and he said he does not want to date a woman with a kid.